Hey everybody, BJ Rogers at Emancipet here to talk to you about one of the understandings that really serve as the foundation for the work that we do here at Emancipet. We've been talking about this for years, and it really is the thing that holds together, the understanding that holds together the programs and the efforts and the philosophies behind everything we do. So it is rooted in this distinction between social good and social change. Social good programs are programs that are intended to serve a need today. So think food pantry or homeless shelter, right? These are programs that are critical to meeting the needs of individuals across our communities, and our communities would be far worse off without them. The thing about these efforts is that while they do aim to and often succeed at meeting those needs in the moment, they're not necessarily functioning to change a reality over time, to change behaviors over time. Now, there are food shelves and there are homeless shelters that also have social change components or programs within their operation. But for the most part, this type of work falls in the realm of social good. A progression of that work is the work of social change. While social good is meant to meet a need today, social change is meant to shift behavior over time to lead to a better tomorrow. So social change projects, you might think of something like smoking cessation as a social change program, right? So this is an effort to shift behavior patterns over time in a group of people such that they lead to better outcomes and sustain themselves over time. So let me walk you through what this looks like in our world, and hopefully this will have some resonance for you in your work. So we think of our work in these three concentric circles, or almost circles, but I'm a lefty, so drawing circles, not so much. So on this outer edge, we have, in our case, services that we provide at reduced cost. So these are our low-cost services, mostly that we provide in our clinics, because that's the work that we do, for people that are looking for service and that have some barrier or barriers to accessing that service. So maybe they want the service, but it's just a little too expensive. They need it to be reduced cost in order to afford it. So these are folks who are engaged, they want a service, but they just have some barrier. The next layer in are our free services. And these services are for folks who are still looking, but they have a lot of barriers to service. So, or even just one really significant barrier to service. So they want the service, but maybe they can't afford it at all, and they need that service to be free, right? Both of these are in the social good realm, although this second layer is sort of a hybrid, actually, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But these programs here are meant to provide a service for people who need it in the moment to make today better. This middle one is sort of the holy grail of a social change organization. So in our case, we are talking about services for people who aren't even looking for them. These are people for whom the services would be beneficial, would make their lives better, would be high value, but the other things going on in their life are sufficiently consuming such that this isn't even on their radar. These services aren't even in their field of vision at the moment, right? So this work is the work of social change. This work is about creating experiences for individuals that are transformative in nature, that help them to experience something that leads to learning, that they then incorporate into their behavior, that they share with other people, and this is the beginning of a social change sort of domino effect. An individual is exposed to new information, they have a transformative experience, they change their behavior, they share that with other people, and so on, and so on, and so on. So the distinction is important. Social good is about meeting needs, creating a better today, and it is incredibly, incredibly important work. Social change is about meeting those needs, but in such a way that a change in behavior takes place and societal shifts happen for the better. Hope this makes some sense. think about this in relation to your work. Most organizations are doing social good work. Some are doing some hybrid work, and some are doing all three, working both toward providing food for individuals who need it and working on economic justice issues to shift the access that people have to food and the behaviors that they engage in. Providing a place for people to sleep at night, but also attempting to create mechanisms for reducing barriers to home ownership in the first place. So, so there are lots of versions out there. I'm pretty sure your organization is probably doing some of all or leaning more in one direction or the other. Put comments or questions below. Hope you find this useful. We'll talk to you next time.